Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
If you're culturally deaf or illiterate and didn't get either of those, we're covering Die Hard today because it's a Christmas movie. And even though our theme this month is snow, and there's no snow in this movie, but
I would argue that.
I see. So we have a guest who specially hand-selected this film and is Emily's roommate. So do you want to introduce...
Yeah, no. This is my good friend and roommate, Miss Emily Keston.
Hi.
We're so happy to have you.
Who held us at gunpoint and said, if you don't do Die Hard during December, physical violence will ensue.
She threatened to evict me.
I have no movie criteria other than this movie.
Yeah, I've like asked her like a handful of times. I'm like, oh, like what movie should we do, or like what movie would you want to do? And the only two answers I've ever been given are Die Hard and oh god, what's the other one?
Kindergarten Cop. And I feel like they have similar vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole time I was watching this, I just wanted it to be an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I'm like, why isn't this Total Recall? Like any of those like bad 80s like action movies, which are all just the same. But it's pretty interesting because this movie is clearly deeply ingrained in your heart, mind, and soul. And Emily and I just watched it for the first time ever for this podcast. So you have two diehard virgins and then a stan on our hands here.
Yeah, no.
You know, people always like to be like, Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie, or like, yeah, Die Hard's my favorite Christmas movie. So clearly you're pro Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Absolutely. And I'll have you know, I was in my Whole Foods line the other day being a silly little cashier, and I was telling one of my coworkers I was doing this podcast, and the person I was ringing out said, oh, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. So there are fans out there that are fully supportive that it's a Christmas movie.
It seems like that seems to be the case for everyone. And if you're arguing otherwise, it's just to like be contrarian and to like, I don't know, stir the pot. But so you made a face when I said that there's no snow in this movie. Are you going to correct me?
There's metaphoric snow.
Oh, the glass?
No, should I say it now?
Yes, go for it.
Yeah. So at the end, when all the bombs go off and there's tons of office paper coming down from the building, and that is right to the capstone of the Christmas miracle when John McClane saves the day.
It was, that is in a way the snow of the film. Yep. You got me there. This sounds like you've written a thesis about this movie.
She's already better at movie podcasting than we are.
I've seen this at least 7 times.
Which is really funny that you say that number like it's a lot. Because I think we covered School of Rock the other week, and Emily asked me, how many times have you seen this? Oh, I'm like, easily 45. maybe 50.
You gotta think, though, I've seen maybe 20 movies in my whole life. I'm not cultured in the movies other than this movie.
And I hate to re-expose you like this, but I just like... We started talking about this, and I just caught the glimmer. I'm like, is this like a really integral part of your relationship with your dad? And then you guys were just cracking up because I feel like the only way like somebody our age, like it just doesn't make sense for you to like this movie otherwise. It's like your dad either showed you What About Bob or Die Hard. Like, what kind of white dad do you have kind of thing.
That's spot on. Absolutely spot on.
You read her like a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because this movie kind of sucks.
I actually really enjoyed this movie.
I think it's a lot of fun to watch, and it's very action-packed, but I will say my criticism for both this and The Sixth Sense, which are probably Bruce Willis's two like most notable movies, are just that they have both been excessively culturally like parodied just in everything, that the source material is no longer even really worth watching. Like, I had never seen this movie, and I knew he was gonna be in the tank top, that it was, that he wasn't gonna have shoes on, that he was, the gun was gonna be taped to his back, and he was gonna say yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Like, zero knowledge going into this movie, yet I knew the entire plot. And I feel the same way. I've never seen The Sixth Sense, but like, yeah, Haley Joel Osment sees dead people. Like, I don't need to watch it. So that's just how I've always felt about this movie. I guess now I just understand all the cultural references that I already knew were Die Hard references. I guess. But if we want to get into a little bit of a recap, I guess, if you want to do it, just a quick overview for anyone who's listening, who's never seen Die Hard. If you like don't know the plot of Die Hard just through cultural osmosis, like, I just think everyone knows that Die Hard's like a hostage crisis. Is that just me, or?
I mean, I didn't know the first thing about this movie, honestly. So I think probably like that's just me being like out of the loop sort of thing. But yeah, do you want to give it a go? Do you feel?
Yeah, I can try. This is really nerve-wracking for me putting on the spot, but this is my passion and my blood and my sweat is Die Hard, so I think I can handle it.
You've already used the term metaphorical snow, so I think you're gonna nail it.
Okay, valid. Well, so once upon a time, there was a rocky relationship with a mother and a father, and I can relate deeply to that. So, one dad lives over in New York. The mom gets a beautiful job out in LA. Boom. All of a sudden, it's Christmas time. Is the dad coming home? The mom doesn't know. There's a Christmas party. It's in a really big, fancy, rich business girl boss building. And then all of a sudden they're vibing at the party. Hostages. They're there. The terrorists, they're there. German terrorists. They're coming in. They're attacking. And we don't know what's happening, but who do we know that's going to save the day? John McClane. So pretty much we have a solid, hour 45, hour and a half of just John McClane shooting bitches, being a badass, blood, guns, bombs, anything you need going, and then he saves the day.
In a tank top, no shoes, raw dogging this hostage crisis like nobody's business, and really letting you know that he's a New Yorker.
Yes, that's a crucial element, absolutely. And I mean, that's it.
That was really cohesive and well done.
Probably, perhaps one of our best ones. Usually I start going into this, I'm like, and then Alan Rickman, is he German? The hostages, and then, but I think that the saving grace of this movie was Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber, the head of, it's very stereotypical, kind of like Bond villain, that sort of early action movie, that you have this like well-composed and well-spoken European villain who's wearing a nice suit and has a little bit of edge to him, kind of thing. Like, that's so overdone, but I think since this is kind of the movie, I don't think this movie originated that trope. I don't think this movie originated any tropes. I feel like it's just a compilation of, they're like, what are all the things that have been successfully done in action film, and then we're gonna do them all together. And it does work. It's really fucking fun to watch. But I think Alan Rickman, this was his first film he was ever in, so he had only done stage stuff. He had only done stage stuff, and they saw him playing some sort of villain character in like a stage production, and they're like, oh, that's the guy, like, that's the terrorist, we gotta get him. So they got him on, and he was like kind of iffy about doing it, but obviously it paid off, because like, fucking brilliant. You would never know this is his first like movie role. And so I am not a John McClane lover, and you know, he's not the hero for me.
Whoa, okay, fair.
But Hans Gruber is the villain for me, and I was fully rooting for him to steal the money, kill everyone, and get John McClane the whole time. I was like, why am I rooting for the bad guys?
That's one of the things that I wrote down. I was like, how can I root for the good guys when the bad guys are so hot?
Right.
I will agree with that. I will absolutely agree with that.
Like, not an ugly face in that crowd.
There was some of the terrorists were not super cute. Some of them were super cute, but some of them were kind of scary. I read somewhere online that there are 12 like identifiable terrorist characters, and I think only a couple of them are actually German or like actually even speak German in the film at all. But so out of 12 of them, 9 of them are over 6 feet tall, which is why like they look all so like big and imposing all the time.
You
right?
just awoke something in her.
That made it even hotter.
Well, okay. You think that Bruce Willis is very sexy in this movie, right?
Yes. Do you not?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like the misogyny for me is like not quite tickling my fancy, if you will. Can we get into this relationship a little bit?
Because the absolute mess.
Him and his wife, they're not divorced, right? They're just going through a rough patch. Okay. So because at first I'm like, oh, they're totally divorced. But then, we get a little bit more into the conversation. Why? Okay, this man, toxic masculinity to the nth degree, because clearly he is threatened by her success. And he is like, I can't just leave behind the force. And he can't leave being a New York City cop. You can literally be a cop in anywhere in America. That's the point of being a cop, is that they're everywhere. So she gets this nice job and takes the kids. Does he not love these kids? Does he not love her? You can go be a cop in LA. They have them there. They have a big police force.
He said, though, he has a 6-month backlog of scumbags in New York. So he feels like he owes New York something. Do I think that's right?
No. That means that he cares more about the potential of catching criminals than he does his own 2 children, and that is not sexy to me. That is selfish. That is selfish. I get the whole like commitment to your job and career, but like fully, he doesn't even want to see his kids on Christmas. She's like, come stay at the house. We have a room, and he's like, no, I'll be at the hotel. What? You have infant children that you don't want to see. I just can't be on this guy's side when clearly he fucking sucks so hard.
Yeah, but like, did you see him covered in dirt and blood?
His arms are kind of hot.
Mostly, I was just looking at his bloody feet that the camera just could not stay away from for some reason.
That was brutal. I know you recoiled when we saw that scene of him like picking glass out of his feet.
But I just don't, I have a hard time kind of grounding my reality in this guy as a hero from the beginning, just solely based on the way he's treating his wife. And the way, when she starts talking to him, and then he just like immediately just dismisses everything she says and starts being like, you always bring up this changing your last name, whatever. And she's like, do you want to see the kids? And he's like, no. And then I'm like, okay, well, even if you are going to save the day, what's it all for? You know, what's it all? And okay, and then he realizes that he has to apologize through her because he's only in a life or death situation. He didn't really learn his lesson. He didn't change his mind because he realized it was the right thing to do. He only changed his mind because he thought he was gonna die.
Yeah.
That's different.
I was sitting there, I think I looked over at Kesty when we were watching this. I was like, are they gonna trauma bond their marriage back together?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Did it work? Yeah.
Yo, I just know she's giving him crazy throat after that entire ordeal.
Absolutely.
You know what I genuinely thought was gonna happen?
Enlighten me.
I thought that she was gonna be fucking the cocaine guy. I thought he was gonna walk into the office and she was gonna be like totally bent over, and like that was gonna spur the rage for him to get back at these terrorists. I don't know. I was like, oh, she's totally fucking that guy who's just ripping lines off her desk. But I guess she's not that kind of gal, which checks out.
There was, for such a horny movie, there was basically no sex in this, but the one time there was sex in this movie,
tits.
There was a lot of tits. There was
full frontal nudity.
But no, Kessie looked over at me in the middle of watching this movie or whatever. It was like, imagine like that's like the ultimate cock block is you're getting railed in the middle of this fucking Christmas party at your office, and then you're pulled into a hostage situation, tits out.
Cock block. Biggest cock block ever.
Yeah, hard dick still in the waistband of the pants. Gun to your head. That's gonna mess up some brain chemistry.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some weird, like, hey babe, sorry to ask again, but we have to roleplay hostage crisis because it's just like, it's ingrained in me now. Sorry, I don't make the rules.
I can't get it up if I don't.
Then that was the last boner I ever had. Oh my god. But yeah, I did have a fun time rooting for the bad guys. Because I kind of like the I'm not going to call them like a ragtag team, but I like we get a little bit of introspection on a few different members of the terrorist crew, and like Theo, the computer guy. I'm so here for him.
I really liked him. Agreed.
And then then there's like the that blonde. What's the word when you have only blonde hair? Albino. I mean, they didn't actually have albinism, but they just like had very white blonde hair. But they were like brothers, and he had to like get revenge, and just like all the little details into the sort of scheming and plotting of the bad guys. I was more here for that than the heroism, because I will say the middle hour and 45 of this movie of him just being in different rooms, finding different ways to like hijack the elevator, and I'm gonna put a screwdriver into the side of a thing, and then I'm gonna set off some bombs, and I'm just like, well, like, you've done 47 different things to thwart their plans. It's just like, it's almost formulaic.
My favorite thing is that we were in the middle of watching this. I was like, how does he know to do that? How does he know to like jam the elevator and everything like that? And Kesty looks at me, she's like, no, I feel like I could do that.
Yeah, I feel like that. You know, he's just a man doing man things, and I guess that he can do the elevator. I don't know.
No, you're what's your fucking not INTJ? What's your fucking
my Myers-Briggs?
Yeah, what's your Myers-Briggs?
Yeah, I'm an INTJ, which less than 1% of women are INTJs, so I'm just built different.
That's why you can totally explains why you like this movie.
Which is why you can totally hijack an elevator.
Yeah.
What's your star sign?
Oh, I'm a Pisces.
I don't really know what that means. I just figured I'd ask along with the Myers-Briggs.
But you don't come up as a Pisces, is the thing.
Well, I do, because I smoke weed. That's about the common trait of Pisces. They all smoke weed.
All my Pisces are stoners.
Yeah, and I suppress my emotions.
What do you think John McClane is? Total Aries.
I was thinking Leo, but I see Aries. He's maybe a little too like soft to be a Leo.
He's soft. I don't think. No, I think he's too soft to be an Aries.
Oh,
I feel like Leos are soft, aren't they? No. I'm so wrong about that.
That's a Cancer.
Yeah.
This is really exposing how much we know about
I know,
astrology.
fuck.
All I know is my like fact I always drop is that like I know the difference between sun, moon, and rising. So when people are like, oh, like my sun sign is whatever, I'm like, yeah, but do you know it's like what your rising sign is how you present yourself to the world. So that's like more actually your personality. I don't know. I just like don't connect with my star sign, so I just make up rules I'm like, I get to pick it. I just get to pick my
rising?
own. So my sun is Sagittarius, but my rising is Aries and my moon is Capricorn, and I feel more, I'm like kind of aggressive.
Yeah, no, I can, it's the way you yell into the mic.
It's out of Sagittarius are supposed to be like, life of the party is so fun, and I'm like, I simply do not attend the party. It's like,
no, well, you're an Aries rising as well.
yeah,
Kesty.
I am an Aries rising.
So no, I can see that for you, Dara. I definitely see it for you.
I think he knows how to jam that elevator because he's a cop who doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah, there was like one line in this movie where it was like, what is it? The first little blonde guy he kills, he's like,
Yep.
I know you won't kill me because you're a cop, and he's like, that's. Yeah,
and there are rules.
That's what my that's what my
boss
captain
says.
keeps telling me.
And I'm like, dude, if you hate your captain, move to LA where your wife and kids are. Clearly if you're having a hard time playing by the rules, I think a lot of cop type aspects about this movie have aged pretty poorly. I think this movie is clearly pro-cop propaganda. And even though it's definitely also, there's like the FBI comes in and they don't know jack shit about what they're doing. So there's definitely that, like, we're going to criticize the police force for not knowing how to really take on the job. It's like, that's there, but it's also like, I don't know. We can get into it, but I'm here for Alan Rickman fucking eating the rich, taking down corporate America. He's like, yeah, free all of these protesters in jail, and I'm gonna steal $1 billion, and at what, the expense of a couple people's Christmas party was ruined? I think I support it.
Here's my thing. Did you at all get German accent from Alan Rickman?
No, and I didn't care. Every time he started talking, in my head I'm just like, what is that mysterious ticking noise? Like, that's just Professor Snape, you know? But it's the inflection is so good, though, that I don't care. And maybe he could be English, German, I don't know. It doesn't seem that important. They did really nail home the fact that they were German terrorists,
right?
though.
Really interesting. Kind of shocked that they didn't go like the Russian route, which I guess now has become like a bigger trope and everything like that. But German does feel a little bit out of left field.
Yeah, I also like don't really know what to think of the whole like Japanese tech company. Like, were they even a tech company?
Idea.
Some sort of like big corporate. Like obviously the Japanese people are running the big corporations in America. Like, is that?
I mean, you still see
really
that
think we
today.
have to
Like,
do
it's
that.
nothing's changed since 1988, sort of thing, in terms of taking movies in that route.
I think like a really cute couple's costume though. You were talking about the first little blonde guy who he kills. I think if you want to do like one of you's John McClane and you do like the dirty bloody tank top, no shoes, you know, badge dangling by your neck kind of look. I think that's very recognizable and easy to pull off. But then like the really shocking one would be that your partner dresses up when he kills him and puts him in the elevator with the sweater that says, "I have a machine gun now, ho ho ho," and he's like, his hair's kind of floppy. I just get like a bad blonde wig and a sweater and like write in fake blood on it. I think that would be a really cute couple's costume. If you want to do a Christmas-based Halloween costume, I think it could be a hot take.
I like that too. I like that a lot. I'm writing that down for next year.
Put that in your like Tinder bio, like looking for
Who else loves Die Hard?
I'm just a dead German terrorist in an elevator waiting for my John McClane. I will say, like, anyone out, if you're like a heterosexual woman looking to get just like super mediocre sex from some guy who's like not great, just at a bar, be like, yeah, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and like at least 8 guys will just flock. It's definitely, this movie is like male violent porn. I feel like guys love this shit. It's just like, yeah, he's a cop and he's fucking shit up. And if you're a girl and you're like, yeah, I think that's really cool too. It's a Christmas movie. He's already in you at that point.
Here's my thing. No. But this movie is for daddy and for mommy because it's so horny and it's so hot.
That's true.
Like,
yeah. Is this gay? Are you gay if you like, if like the next, you know, dude bro who's like, yeah, I love Die Hard, I'll be like, yeah, because you're jerking off to fucking Bruce Willis in a tank top, just like the rest of us.
Yeah, no. Whoever made this movie was like, okay, we need to throw the women some bones here.
No, I would love to think that like during production, he's doing that scene where he's aggressively washing his face and he's like, I gotta wash up, and she's like, okay, here's the bathroom, and he just starts like scooping at his armpits with paper towels and like nobody has ever truly washed themselves that inefficiently ever. Like, he's just getting water all
I feel
over
like
himself.
I can't speak because I'm a woman. I would not put it past a man to do that.
Yeah, right. Just like, oh yeah, I gotta wash up, dunks your whole head in the sink. But during that scene, this is not true at all, but I would love to think that somebody was like, what if he doesn't put the shirt back on? Like, what if we just leave him in the tank top for the rest of the movie? And everyone was like, oh yeah, it's really, really good stuff.
It's like the one woman in the writer's room is just like,
yeah. She's like, I have an idea. The tank top stays on.
They're like, oh yes.
It is a visually pleasing as a viewer to see the tank top get more fucked up over the course of the movie. It's kind of like, oh, nice. They did that, because if he was in a clean white tank top by the end, that would just be fucked. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I remember like looking down or like away for like a hot second, and like once he came out of the air system, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Black.
And I was like, oh, this is new, but this is hot.
I guess, so at this time, they paid Bruce Willis $5 million to be in this movie, which if you do, you know, inflation and everything, back to 1988, that I think it was like, I don't think it was record breaking, but it was unfucking heard of. Like, that was just an insane amount of money to be paying somebody for a movie. Like, nobody, top billing people were not even making close to that. And I guess it's because a lot of it was improvised.
Really?
They're like, we'll just get Bruce Willis and we'll pay him a ton of money and he'll just show up and he'll be, John McClane. And it really worked out for them, I guess, because he, totally did. But yeah, yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers, improvised. I know, like, the whole scene with him and Hans Gruber meeting for the first time is, like, mostly improvised, too. So they wrote this, like, half-ass script, and they're like, but we're just gonna fucking pump a ton of money into getting Bruce Willis.
As long as we have Bruce and explosions, it's fine. It's so fine.
Right. Have you seen any of the sequels?
So, yes. Long ago, I've seen the second and the third one. Actually, once upon a time for Christmas, I got my dad the DVD set of 1 through 3. And they suck. They absolutely suck. I think one of them takes place like 4th of July or something. It's something weird.
God.
No, it's not worth your time.
Yeah, I know they're... Oh, don't worry. I was not planning on it. But I know that they're all the way up to 5 now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Die Hard 5. Yeah, which it's just, like, so ridiculous that Die Hard as an entity has just been, like, parodied and copied. Just every action movie since is stealing something from Die Hard. Why would they even make a sequel? There are 100 sequels to Die Hard, and it's the entire action movie genre. Everything post-1988 is just a referential Die Hard film, like, for the most part. Every, like, blockbuster, like, wasn't there one with The Rock a couple years ago where he was literally trapped in a skyscraper? I think it was called Skyscraper.
Yeah.
He was trapped in a skyscraper, like, fighting terrorists or something. It's the same plot. It's just the same movie. Just think, like, yeah, blockbuster action is just recreating Die Hard over and over.
Like, there's something to be said for Die Hard if it's so, influential that every single other blockbuster is, like, pulling at least, like, a bit or a piece from it. And that's being, like, generous. It's, like, a nibble from it.
Yeah, it's a bummer that, like, I don't know, they couldn't have pulled something, like, there's one scene that I like in this movie quite a bit.
Okay.
And it's when the wife steps up to do the hostage negotiating. And she's like, there's a fucking pregnant woman, so if you don't get us a couch, people are going to start pissing on the floor. And then Alan Rickman is like, you know what? That's actually super legit and fair. We can do that. And you used the word girl boss. You were like, oh yeah, this, like, girl boss business. There's nothing girl boss about this movie because she still has to be, like, saviored by him the whole time. She's just like, obviously she's in a hostage situation, so she does actually have to get saved by him, but, like, she is, by the end, she just submits. She has accepted that even though he's fucking shitty because he can flex his muscles and kill the bad guys, that she's just going to accept this role as the dutiful wife who changes her last name on the door plaque, and that they're gonna live happily ever after or whatever.
She's still... he's definitely moving out here after the entire scenario. Like,
I want her to be like, the divorce is still on. She's like, oh, this was great. Thanks for saving me. And, like, I really do appreciate it. But, like, it's not going to work.
No, I think she pegs him now. I think there's...
No way.
Changing dynamic.
Yeah, I think the dynamic... No. I think she gave him, like, that one little nibble. She's like, I'll take your last name back, but I am running this fucking household. I'm wearing the fucking pants, and I'm pegging you.
You know who gets pegged? Argyle.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, can we talk about him for a minute? Because he's objectively, like, maybe not objectively, but he was probably my favorite character in the entire movie.
As far as, like, a useless side character who really doesn't add anything until he does, it's like, oh, he's just kind of here for comic relief until he does the big thing and, like, successfully crashes the car into the side of the other car and, like, does a thing that I guess maybe in the big grand scheme of things kind of helped. But I didn't care. Usually that would annoy the shit out of me. I'd be like, why are we still showing this character? I didn't give a shit. I love Argyle ripping nips.
Yeah, right?
That's what I said.
Living his best
I'd be doing
life.
the same thing. I'd be like, well, there's nothing else I can do. I'm just gonna fucking get drunk, I guess. I love the way that the minute that he sits in the limo with John McClane, he's like, oh, so your marriage is really crumbling, huh? He's like, I'm just reading that energy off of you right off the bat. He's like, yeah, she's not gonna take you back, so I am gonna wait with the car. And I'm like, that is, yeah, so observant and insightful of you, Argyle, and also quite considerate as well, because
I would have been like, deuces, I'm out of here. Thanks for the tip, bro.
No, he keeps it real. I like him. I think I agree. He's a side character, a necessary one. I think you could say he's necessary.
How do we bring up Al the cop? Do we want to talk about Al? Because he's like another like side character who like isn't important until he is kind of thing, where he's like the man on the ground, giving all the intel.
Here's the thing is he's not important, but he's important to me.
Who's more important though, him or Argyle?
Him.
Yeah.
Argyle.
Oh, see, I think he is. I don't think. Yeah, Al.
Al the cop on the ground who killed a child.
You gotta look past that. That was a mistake that he learned from.
I'm staying out of this. I think Al's more important to the movie. Argyle's more important to my heart.
That's fair.
Okay, yeah. I have no love for Al in my heart. Al. After Al, the fact that his solution to mistakenly killing a child was to just like turn in his gun but continue to be fucking quit the force, bro. You should be in jail. You should kill yourself. Like
I like that. I like they say turn in his gun because like one of the like pinnacle moments of the movie is
that he has a I hate that though. Like he has to like get over the trauma of killing a child in order to save the day. No siree. That was not for me. Oh, thank God. Al really got over it. Al really put the past behind him when it mattered most.
Yeah, thank God this movie was made when it was, because it could never be made today.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think Al the cop is the part of this movie that has aged so incredibly poorly to the part that like my eyes and like my jaw dropped when they had that conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot fucking believe it.
It just feels like they could have like taken that in like such a different direction. Like, you know what I mean? Like it could have been like you could have fucked up in some other way, and they're like, no, he killed a child.
I could not believe my eyes when I was watching this. I was like, oh, I thought this was propaganda until like, and now I'm like, oh, now I know. Like I know that this movie's trying to make me pro-American police force with this bullshit. Well, he had a pregnant wife, right? Which was I was kind of like, oh, he's so brave. He's still staying in this really dangerous situation when he has a lot to lose.
You know who I would rather have in this movie than Al the cop is Marge the cop from Fargo.
Oh, from Fargo, right? Marge would have solved the hostage situation with zero casualties. She would have just got the job done.
Oh yeah, you want those bonds? Yeah. We'll get you to them.
Okay, awesome. So we're here with my mom, Jen, for another interim chocolate or vanilla segment. It's a game that she hosts halfway through our episodes. She gives us two options, and we all just say which one we like better. It's really simple, really great way to just yell your opinions. It's what I love about it. And so usually there's a theme. Is there a theme this week?
There is. Because Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas theme.
Outstanding.
And we all are under the denominational faith of Christmas celebrators here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
You could have just asked stuff if we were like Jewish.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, like if like Jen planned this whole Christmas theme, and you're like, yeah, like I am Jewish, so like I just. Would have been a little bit awkward.
No, we did decorate the Christmas tree over here.
All right, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. A star on top of your tree or an angel on top of your tree?
Stars, because I'm gonna like lean away from like religious imagery. I think we should take the religion out of Christmas and just let it,
let it be a commercial holiday.
Yeah, it's like Valentine's Day, right? Just like. Let's just monopolize it like we've done with everything else. I don't want to have to think about Jesus, too.
Yeah, no, aesthetically, like, the angel is just fucking tacky. You know what I like? Good old-fashioned star. What about you?
I agree. Stars are very bad, bitch, so I'm team star.
I actually agree with you. And there's, like, none of the angels are good.
Yeah.
We always
just need a plain bright star.
We had an angel for, like, probably my whole life, and she was always, like, on the verge of falling.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
she's always like at a 45-degree angle. Yeah.
Oh, she's leaning hard.
Yeah, Jen just panned over to the angel on top of your tree, like about to make the leap, about to Hans Gruber off the side of the fucking building. I hope that's not a hostage type fall.
And I've always felt like we have to keep it because you picked her out when you were little, and like I don't really like her. She's way too big for the tree. She's like too much, you know. And but I feel like I got to keep it because you picked her out.
I have no sentimental connection to that angel. You can kick her to the curb at any given moment.
Snowman or gingerbread man?
Gingerbread man, because he can't eat a snowman.
I don't know. Like, I don't get me wrong. I do love gingerbread men. But like, are they the tastiest cookie? Not even close. However, the experience of making a snowman is just something to behold. And I think it's just like, okay, you get a little chilly. I get it. You get some snow in your boots. Fine. But you have a good ass time. So I'm going to go with making a snowman.
I'm gingerbread man. I don't like the snow, and I like cookies. So there's that. Easy equation.
I'm like, right, indoor activity that I get to eat something, or an outdoor activity where it's always just so depressing. You have to watch your snowman melt, like slowly over the next 3 months. All your hard work just like slowly crumble away.
I'll go gingerbread man also for the same reason. Hot chocolate with marshmallows or hot apple cider?
Ooh, I actually, when we were watching this movie, Henry and I, we like mulled some cider. So we put like the spices in it, and we got it like over the stove, and then we put rum in it, and we made like a nice like alcoholic mulled cider because we felt like it was like good vibes for this. So yeah, definitely cider for me.
We should do that.
That would be fun. That would be really fun.
Yeah, no, I'm not the biggest hot chocolate person, as you can maybe tell because I pick vanilla every week on chocolate or vanilla. But I'm definitely a cider person, and hot cider is just really cozy to me. So I'm gonna go for the hot cider.
I'm team hot cocoa, as long as it's made with milk and not water, and preferably oat milk.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet recently that was like, if y'all have been making your hot cocoa with water, you need to like get cultured because that's like not the way to do it. It is just like sad watery powder. It's milk is the way. Or like like a milk substitute.
Yeah, and like cook it over the stove.
Oh yeah.
Same. Hot chocolate with marshmallows for me for sure. The color red or the color green?
I'll go with red, I guess. Because my iPhone is red, and it's the red one because of AIDS, I think so. And it's like that fact that I have in my pocket when everyone's like, because I have a clear case on, everyone's like, oh, like nice red iPhone. I'm like, thanks, it's the AIDS one.
Oh my god.
It's because I'm so socially awkward, I have to have like a pre-planned response. So like for every pair of earrings I own, I like have a fact. So when people are like, nice earrings, I don't just awkwardly say thank you. I'm like, oh, thanks, they're from Australia. Or like some weird shit like that. I don't know. But my to-go fact in that part of my brain about my phone is that it's the AIDS. I need to stop saying AIDS. Somebody else please answer red or green.
By the way, that's your assignment for this week. If someone gives you a compliment, just say thanks and just stop. Just stop there. Like choke it down. Just like
I can just see Dara like fucking like dry heaving up, like trying not to say something afterwards. I think I'm just gonna go with green because it's not the AIDS phone color.
See, I'm going back to red. I got a red hat on. My Prius is red, so I feel obligated to say red.
I'm gonna go green because I love green Santa.
Also,
I love a green.
Your maiden name is
Santa.
Green. You're old.
That is
before
true.
you got married. Your last name was Green.
I have
so
a
that's
green
kind
connection.
of part of your brand.
Yeah, my brand. God. All right, real tree or fake tree?
I mean, a real tree is nice, but you gotta vacuum, and I simply do not have the time for that. My tree actually is like a fake house plant. It doesn't look at all like Christmassy. It just looks like it belongs like in a corner somewhere. We just like shoved some tinsel on it because we're like, well, we already own this and it's fake, so now it's a Christmas tree because it's Christmas. I'm pro, just like a cactus, whatever you already own, like whatever sort of plant you already own, just make that your Christmas tree.
I'm gonna have to go with fake tree because I maybe had a real tree growing up until I was like 5 or 6 or something like that, and I feel like I've talked about my sister's allergies on this podcast at least like 3 times at this point, but she's
every tree and the sun, and also just the outdoors.
She was allergic to
she was allergic to our Christmas tree.
Sad.
She had like an asthma attack one year, and so we've had a fake tree for like maybe the last 15 years or something like that. But I do think it's easier to get and to set up. It looks better. You don't have to put the lights on every year because they stay on. If you're missing that Christmas tree smell, just get like some of those little ornaments that you hang on it and it smells like a Christmas tree.
Or a candle. Literally just get a candle.
Bam. Yeah. There you go. I'm pro fake tree.
I couldn't agree more. I'm also super pro fake tree.
Yep, same. I think if you have a fake tree, you can just keep it up for a really long time, too. Candy canes or fudge?
I don't fuck with mint.
Whoa.
This is just like this is a fact about me, is that unless it's toothpaste or like an Altoid, like a breath mint or gum or something, I don't want mint, and I especially don't want mint and chocolate together. And I know you didn't pose it, but usually a peppermint stick is in the sort of other dessert realm of happenings, and I just simply do not care for it. So I will go with the fudge.
I'm also gonna have to go with fudge. I just don't like, if I'm eating a candy cane, my hands feel like they're bound to get sticky, and I can't fuck with that. But you know what I can fuck with? Some good old-fashioned fudge.
See, I'm still team candy cane, even though the one issue is the stickiness. They're so hard to eat. Whoever designed the shape of a candy cane definitely was not thinking about the stickiness it was going to create, but that doesn't matter. I'm a big old fan of mint, so I'm going to go with team candy cane.
Yeah, you and I are just like destined to disagree, I think.
It's good because you're both Aries rising, so you're gonna have to let the other person know about it.
Yeah, fine with me.
I'm gonna take fudge for sure. White lights or colored lights?
I mean, I guess both are fine. I always felt a certain type of way about people who put lights on the outside of their house, but not really in a way that's aesthetically pleasing. They just sort of threw them out there on their porch, and it's just I don't know. I think if you're gonna put lights up, make them look nice, whatever color they may be. I guess I'll go with rainbow, I guess. I don't have a preference. Lights are fine.
I have an extremely strong preference. White lights just feel very sterile to me. I don't like it. But I do have colored Christmas lights hanging around my room year round, and there's just something super warm about them that I really like. So I am a hard colored lights fan. So,
see, I like the white ones. They feel crispy. They feel fresh. That sterile thing you said, I think I kind of like that. So I'm team white lights.
I would take colored lights. Jingle bells or Jingle Bell Rock?
Oh, as far as the musical
the
number?
songs. Yeah, the songs.
I feel like I played a jazz version of Jingle Bells at one of my piano concerts when I was 11 years old or something. But that's not been posed as an option for me here on this night. I feel like also in jazz band, if you've ever done high school or middle school jazz band, you've been forced to play some sort of swing version of Jingle Bell or Jingle Bell Rock or whatever every year at the holiday concert. I guess I'll go with Jingle Bell Rock. I guess we love a genre alteration.
Yeah, this is tough, especially when you bring up the band's issue of it, is that every single year for maybe 10 years or so, whenever Christmas time came around, we'd always have to play Jingle Bells in band, and I always just wanted to sit there and tap my silly little sleigh bells, because that was the only thing you did for the entire song. So I guess I'm gonna go with Jingle Bells. It's classy. Maybe not classy. It's classic. But Jingle Bell Rock feels a little tacky to me in a way. I don't know.
I'll go with Jingle Bell Rock. I like the spiciness of it. It puts a little flair into Christmas.
Me too. I agree with you 100%. Give me the 10.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
I'm gonna say Christmas Eve. I guess I was trying to think of like, I don't know. The suspense is nice, but I feel like our family, we have always made an effort to like do something kind of not Christmassy but still fun on Christmas Eve. So we'll always like go skiing or going to the movies or just like doing some sort of like daytime activity to sort of like, because you don't want to be in your house because it's clean. That was your thing always, Jen, is you're like, I've already cleaned the house, so if we stay in the house, you guys are going to fuck it up, so we have to go do something. So you'd be like, yeah, we're sledding all day we're sledding, and you're not going to be in the house that I've cleaned to perfection for the guests who are coming. So
I can't believe you spun it like that. Like,
tell me look at me and say that's a lie.
I love a day trip, whether it's or not.
Jen used to always pull this shit too, where like she would clean the whole house at like 3 a.m. the night before a holiday, and then the next morning she'd be like, "The Easter Bunny cleaned the house." She'd be like, "Santa vacuumed. That's his gift to me. Was look, the kitchen is spotless." And we were always like, "Yeah, okay, Jen. Like, okay, Mom, whatever." But in my head, I was like, "Yeah, the Easter Bunny did full top to bottom. He dusted like."
That's you. It's you.
Yes, that is me. They come back from work, the house is spotless. I'm like, oh, the Easter Bunny did it.
There have been like nights where like we've all been like out drinking and then like everyone's gone to bed and she's up like like shining the floors.
You know, the best clean is
I
a
love
drunk
that.
clean, and I'll stand by that.
But okay, Christmas versus Christmas Eve. I definitely like Christmas Eve a lot better. I couldn't really say why. I don't think it's the anticipation of it, but I think like my family will go and we'll all like me and all of my siblings will exchange gifts on like Christmas Eve rather than on like Christmas Day and everything like that. It just feels, I don't want to say it feels cozier to me, but for some reason it feels a little cozier to me, even though like the next day I'm sitting in my pajamas all day doing absolutely nothing. But I don't know what it is. Something about Christmas Eve I like a little better. I like the tradition of it, like hanging stockings and everything like that is still fun. I know my family, we always go and we make like a handful of like certain foods or whatever, and we all like take a shot together sort of thing. So I don't know. I think for that reason I'm gonna say Christmas Eve.
So I'm Christmas Day, probably for the silliest reason of them all, and that's because my mom makes a breakfast casserole on Christmas Day morning, and that thing she makes once a year on Christmas Day, and I think that sole dish carries me throughout the other 365 days of the year. So
What's in it?
it's
What's
like
in
just
it?
eggs, veggie sausage because I'm a vegetarian, potatoes, peppers, and onions. All of that mixed together, you pop that in the oven and you're done. That's it. Is it anything special? No. Is it bomb? Yes. And for that reason, I pick Christmas Day.
What about you, Jen?
I'm going to go with Christmas Eve. Because, like, I'm definitely a night owl, so I would always pick something at night instead of something during
Because
the day.
you love those 3 hours where you're just cleaning the whole house.
Yeah, exactly. After everyone goes to bed. So, chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry? I forgot to do this at the beginning.
Chocolate.
I'm gonna stick with vanilla today.
Well, I'm going strawberry, so.
Ooh. Chocolate for me. So, ham, turkey, or lasagna?
What? Okay.
Those are the three Christmas meals. Ham, turkey, or lasagna?
Okay. Well, turkey tastes like cardboard. Ham, unless it's in a breakfast situation, is also a hard no. And so, lasagna is beautiful and delicious. Who the fuck eats lasagna
Me.
on Christmas? I want to
Lasagna.
Yeah, I'm team lasagna.
A high percentage of people eat lasagna on Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
no.
Okay, I guess I was out of the loop on
Yeah.
that cultural tradition.
Yeah, I'm on team lasagna for this one. Kesty can't eat any of the
Yeah,
others.
as a vegetarian, lasagna sounds delectable.
Lasagna for the sweet, then. For sure. Last one. Getting dressed up for the holiday party or staying in your PJs?
Oh, staying in the PJs because I'm pounding mimosas starting at 9. So like it's
That's
it's
our version
already-
of the breakfast casserole.
Yeah, right. I'm asleep by noon, you know. So like I'm not getting dressed in that time. I have other duties. I have other responsibilities, which is just to get as drunk as possible from the moment I wake up until it's acceptable to dismiss myself from the party.
Yeah, no, PJs for sure. I don't think there's ever been one time that I'm not in my pajamas from the minute I wake up until the minute I go to bed on Christmas Day.
I'm also team PJs, absolutely.
Yeah, PJs for the sweep for sure. That's it. That's the
Woo,
end of
Christmas.
the Christmas edition.
That was lovely, Jen.
Happy. I mean,
you.
we're a little early to say happy holidays. I guess we're maybe 1 week ahead, but happy holidays to everybody. Whatever you may celebrate, drink some booze. If you do that, stay in your PJs. Buy gifts or don't buy gifts. Tell people that you love them and appreciate them. Eat good food. This is the holiday spirit. This is the way. So thank you for injecting some Christmas light into my life, Jen, because I haven't bought anybody any gifts, so I probably should do that. This was a nice reminder. So
I am done and wrapped.
Oh, I wish.
Happy holidays, you guys. I love you. I'll talk to you
Love you.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Lovely. Always wonderful, Jen. All right. I don't know how much more Die Hard I have to talk about.
Yeah, we can get into our sort of regularly scheduled programming because I think there's going to be quite a discussion around who we're talking.
All the above.
Miss Kesty, do you have anything else you want to say in and about the movie?
Other than it's probably the greatest Christmas movie of all time. And I would love to know, the only movie that rivals it, I think, is Elf. Any other movie
Okay.
doesn't even come close.
I feel like you would say that this is this your favorite movie ever, not just Christmas?
Well, I could probably name maybe 4 other movies of all time. So
that you
no, that
like?
you've seen. That I've seen.
Yeah, so this is definitely at the top.
Yeah. We'll maybe go with like what other movie? Maybe
Spring Breakers.
Spring Breakers and like Florida Project. Probably the
Hey, Florida Project's a great
Outstanding movie.
Let's bump that. That's a better movie. That's objectively a better movie than Die Hard.
I don't know about that one.
Let's get that up.
Well, objectively, maybe.
It's one of those.
I'll give you that.
It's an issue of like, is it a better movie versus like, what's a more entertaining movie? And it's a hard line to draw.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things like, does entertainment make a movie better? And that's just a whole debate in itself.
Yeah, and I mean, for certain, we've always emphasized that we are here for bad movies on this podcast, and you can say that a movie is objectively bad and still love it with all your heart. That's most of my favorite movies are objectively horrible. So I'm here for this trope of a film being your favorite. I love that for you. And what would you say are the 3 main characters of this film for us to choose between fucking, marrying, and killing? Because obviously we've got John McClane. I'm going to put Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber, main villain, in there. Who's sort of our like third... Who's got the most screen time coming up next? Do we want it to be like his wife? Do we want it to be Al the cop? Do we want it to be Argyle? Like who's sort of this third big player for us to make a big 3 out of?
It's the blonde guy whose brother died early.
The one who looks like Riff Raff from
Yeah. I mean, like I could be
Rocky
totally
Horror.
wrong, but like he's definitely the other one that stands out, and also like I don't think Al or John's wife are really adding anything into this equation.
Okay, so we'll do blonde terrorist number 2. Alan Rickman and Bruce
I think we're all
Willis.
killing blonde terrorist number 2. Am I wrong?
This is really hard for me.
No, so I'm killing John McClane. I'm killing him. As much as he is a sexy man, I do not think he would be a formidable lover. I don't think that man makes his wife come. I'm sorry, because clearly she is not acting like it's something to be lost. So, So I'm going to kill John McClane. I'm going to fuck blonde terrorist number 2. And obviously I'm going to marry Hans Gruber. Like, yes, we're going to have he's dead by the end of the film. But I'd like to think that with my presence, we would have got out of there with the money alive. We would have, like, run away to Bora Bora. It could have been nice.
See, I'm gonna kill the blonde terrorist. He didn't do anything for me. If it was his younger brother, then I might have spoken differently. But he doesn't do it for me. John, however, John specifically, when he's covered in dirt and blood and he's just pretty much come out of the fountain in the middle of the office.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say specifically there, I'll fuck him. And then, of course, I'm gonna marry Alan Rickman.
I love, before earlier, I wasn't going to say this with my mom on the phone, but I mean, I guess she does listen to these, in post. But you said that you love, like, sterile, like you're talking about how much you love clean stuff. And meanwhile, this whole podcast, all 3 of us have been visual, like drooling. Like, oh my god, yes, fucking dirty tank top and his nasty feet on the ground. He's just covered in dirt and blood. Oh yeah, that's so hot. And you're over here like, yes, I do love things that are sterile and clean. Like, come on.
I did look at her, like, in the middle of us watching the movie, and I was like, him covered in dirt, like, are you still gonna do it? And it was a hard yes from you still.
Yeah, in this scenario, absolutely. I honestly think, if anything, for some reason, it makes it hotter. So...
Yeah. You're right.
I'm down.
So are you fucking him or are you marrying him?
I would fuck him. I think, yeah, it's, actually, no. You know what? Upon further reflection, I think I might marry him. As long as Hans can be, like, my side piece during the marriage, if that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense.
Right? Like,
It could even be collaborative.
I
it could
would
be a throuple.
love that. I would say.
Now you're talking.
That sounds absolutely ideal right there. But I think, I think Hans would be my good side piece. And me and John, I think we could work things out. I think, as the INTJ that I am, I think we could see eye to eye on a lot of things. And then terrorist number 2, and actually, fun fact, I believe terrorist number 2 that we're talking about is
Carl.
Yeah, it's Carl. Yeah. Karl. And my dad actually wanted to name my dog Carl with a K after this character in Die Hard, but we found out the dog was a girl, so no Carl.
So her name is Carla.
So it was Daisy. Hard pivot on that one. But my dad was really like, until we picked up the dog and we're like, oh shit, it's a female. It was really gonna be Carl, Karl, after this one character.
After, like, the bad guy.
Yeah.
What? You weren't gonna name your dog John?
No, Carl's way too badass with the K.
Carl would have been really fitting for
that's
her.
true.
Right? Yeah.
Carl. Yeah, she could be a Carly. She could be
Carlotta.
Carlotta, yeah. We could make it work. And then for the whole movie,
we open the floor up so you can just the
whole film.
Just pick
no rules.
Who you want to fuck, who you want to marry, and who you want to kill.
Fucking same too.
Are you still killing Carl though?
Because now you can kill anyone.
Yeah, off with the wife.
She's like, I have to make room for me in this scenario.
Yeah, right. In order to broker this threesome agreement, I'm just gonna have to offer.
You're gonna have to do something with the kids too.
Oh shit, I forgot about them. No, the nanny has it taken care of.
Oh my god,
all
the
right.
nanny. But so I'm absolutely without a doubt marrying Theo.
Okay, fair.
I'm obsessed. Every single moment he was on the screen, I said to myself, yes, this is the man for me. Love Theo the computer guy. Hacking. We love a hacker breaking the codes, just using very generic computer terms so that we at home understand. And I love him for that. I love his little turtleneck and his glasses. Very cute, very professional. I'm going to fuck Argyle in the back of the limo. We're gonna hang out and we're gonna like listen to music and rip nips and fuck in the car while we wait for this shit to blow over. I think it could be nice. And I'm still gonna kill John McClane because
Yeah, no, I think fucking Argyle is definitely the move. I'd like to like I'd like to feel like I could get like a friend. He seems like a friends with benefits kind of deal, where like it's not gonna get messy.
I think Argyle's the type to get emotionally attached.
Really?
Yeah, he for sure is.
Interesting.
He's gonna send you those sappy texts.
With that bear?
So that was my question. What are you guys gonna do with the bear? Is it gonna watch?
I'm gonna lay on it.
Even
Back support,
better.
arch support, baby.
Question answered.
Prop up my legs, you know.
But yeah, I'm gonna fuck Argyle. I'm gonna marry. I think I'm still gonna marry Alan Rickman in this scenario. Yeah, no, I'd like to be his little villainous wife. We can scheme together, and I can get down with that. I'm gonna kill the reporter, who is just an absolute cunt throughout the entire movie.
Yes, yeah. Who fucked shit up and who revealed that she was the wife. That shit was fucked. Also, why were they like watching TV during the hostage situation? You let them have that. It was like, yeah, you guys can throw on the news.
What would you eat and drink with this movie?
So in reality, I made some like fucked pizzas. I made a pizza that had potatoes on it, like a loaded potato pizza, like potato, bacon, cheese, sour cream, onions, like that, like kind of fucked up pizza, but then also one with just like, peppers and onions and like normal pizza stuff. So I made some fucked pizzas and I drank like a mulled cider because I was trying to cultivate some cozy vibes. Which I certainly do enjoy. I think pizza was kind of fitting. I think you gotta eat like a bro food. You gotta eat like wings or like a burger or I don't know. What do they eat in this? There's Twinkies in the movie, so I guess you could go for like a Twinkie if you wanted to be referential. But like, I think some sort of like greasy bro food.
Interesting. See, what for me, I feel like you try to like stick to the holiday party theme sort of thing. So I think you go to BJ's or whatever, like Sam's Club, Costco, whatever. Get like some big things of those like pre-made hors d'oeuvres kind of thing. Like get some get yourself some fucking bacon wrapped scallops and some little like pigs in a blanket kind of thing. And I think you go with that. Yeah.
Pigs in a blanket, because pigs in a blanket, because the cops are in this movie. Actually, Emily, I think that's really inspired.
I subconsciously was definitely thinking about it from that light.
Yeah.
But for drinks, I think you. It's really a personal thing. Is whatever your dad would drink, I think you would drink. So like for me, exactly. I'd have to make a gin and tonic. For everyone else.
For me, a whole bottle of red wine.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Do you have...
I love that. Whatever your dad would drink. That's also very inspired.
Any food or drink preferences on your end?
Yeah, so I said this earlier when you were explaining to me what goes on in this podcast, and you said I need to come up with a food and drink. I said, I think a tall glass of milk would be appropriate for this movie. And not even, I try to eat plant-based as much as possible, but for this shit, whole milk. A fat glass of just straight whole milk.
Because John immediately when he gets back to his wife's house is chugging a full glass of milk.
Just a big old glass of milk. And then for the food, I was thinking about that mid-movie, and I think I agree, something hearty, something for the boys. And I was thinking like a sandwich, not like any old like
some big old turkey club.
Yeah, like a big like layered sandwich with a big old slab of meat on it.
That makes you feel like a New York cop. You're like, I'm on the job. I'm working overtime. I'm eating a turkey club for my deli. Yeah.
And do you have any strong opinions about what you follow this up with, Dara?
Yeah, I do. It's a Muppet Christmas Carol.
I like that.
Because we're going to hard pivot to a classic Christmas tale. So this is perhaps, the furthest we could stray from origin source material of what is Christmas to what we culturally consider to be Christmas. And so we have strayed from God's light with Die Hard, which is fine. and I'm here for it. But we need to get back to our roots. Who invented Christmas? That guy, Charles Dickens, who wrote A Christmas Carol that we all had to read, but who did it best? The Muppets.
I think you're so right for that. I'm also gonna stick in a Christmas vein, because for me, when I was watching this movie, I was like, this feels like the perfect mindless movie. And why I think it is definitely a Christmas movie is like, this is something I would put on like Christmas Day when I'm in my PJs, like already half drunk from mimosas, and I just want to zone out and just, like glue my eyeballs to the TV. But the other one that I so typically do that with is A Christmas Story, because it runs all day long on, I don't know, one of the, ABC.
Like ABC Family.
Something like that. So I think you followed up with that because it is very much, similarly to your suggestion, very much a Christmas movie. Pretty classic, which I suppose the Muppet, Christmas Carol is. The Muppets one is just better. And what about you?
Well, so as I mentioned earlier, I've seen probably around 7 movies, so I don't have much to pick from. So when I was presented this question earlier, I just said porn. I think porn feels very.
Have you seen the Die Hard porn?
Are you kidding me?
There's a porn version of.
Please,
I'll send you a link. Yeah, it's really funny.
Don't listen into my room tonight.
I mean, he just keeps a tank top on. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say, just watch Die Hard again. Like the DVD just resets, and you're like, I guess this is happening. Let's strap back in.
No, this movie is super, super horny, so it is the natural jump.
Porn. Dealer's choice. Any kind of porn, but just porn. Preferably one with a little storyline in the beginning to get you going, but just porn.
They're step siblings. She's stuck in a washing machine. You know, we got to get through some clunky dialogue before we really get to it. Yeah, absolutely.
And what would you rate this movie? This is about to be really offensive to you.
It's all right. I can take it.
Out of 10, I will give this movie a 3. Going into it,
okay.
I did not feel the need to watch it, as I already know what is Die Hard. I've been forced through culture to just accept that Die Hard's a thing that people talk about, and that I know all the, oh my god, he taped the thing to his back. Like, yeah, let's just spoil that a million times. Oh, Haley Joel Osment sees dead people. Let's have the joke be that we're all gonna spoil it, essentially. So I didn't feel the need to watch this, and then I did, and then I thought to myself, okay, that was it. That was the movie. And I don't feel the need to ever watch it again. But I can accept its cultural relevance, its impact on film as a whole, and what it has brought to culture and the genre. I can accept that this is a fun and entertaining movie that successfully pulled off so many tropes so heavy-handedly that it could only be referenced in everything henceforth. So I will, but on a personal level, just not my cup of tea. So 3 out of 10 from me.
See, I really love a good action movie, and my thing with a lot of action movies is that they feel very up and down. I really enjoyed this because it was very much straight action for the entire hour to 2 hours and 20 minutes of it. And when there was those little sort of in between segments, it still had my attention. I'm gonna give it 5.5, 6 sort of thing like that.
That's not even that good.
I'll give it a 6 because I did really enjoy it, but I like an action movie. It's not my typical thing. But no, I could get down with this. I would certainly watch this again, and I would certainly watch this half drunk on my couch Christmas morning. And we're all waiting on bated breath.
I mean, I give it a solid 9, but I'm different.
I mean, you're allowed to say 10. It's your favorite movie. You can.
I don't believe in perfection, but I think this movie comes as close as physically possible to perfection. I cannot watch a movie longer than maybe an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's very true. I've seen it.
But for some goddamn reason, this 2 hour and 12-minute movie has me gripped at every single moment. So there's something that this movie does produces something in my silly little brain that makes me absolutely love it. So for that reason, I have to give it a 9.
It's Bruce Willis in a tank top.
I mean, probably.
That's like 7 out of the 9.
Yeah. The eroticness definitely gives it a solid 7 points.
And so
I feel like this was a great experience. I'm glad that I watched this. Dara, I'm not going to speak for you.
I feel like that it was something that I was embarrassed to say I had never done, you know? It's sort of like saying you've never seen Gone with the Wind or something like that. It's just like a staple in culture. It's like a staple. Oh, wait, what's... No, not Gone with the Wind. Sound of Music, I meant.
Oh.
Right, you're just like, it's just such a cultural staple that I'm like, yeah, like I get it, but I've never seen it. So I guess now I can say that I've seen it. And I was here for Alan Rickman's performance, and I was actually here for a lot of the little side characters. So I did not hate this movie. It could have been so much worse. But thank you for bringing this to our attention and also producing some back and forth dialogue. Usually Emily and I just agree about everything. So it was nice to have somebody to fight with for once.
I'm honored. I feel like I let you guys into my home with this movie.
And I just shot on the floor. Like, you're like, welcome to my home, and I just started pissing on your carpet. Like a feral
and that
cat.
happens sometimes. It's fine.
And for that, I will send you an edible arrangements. You know, I'm going to apologize. But I think this was definitely a fun little twist for us. And with the metaphorical snow of the papers falling at the end, I do think we can consider this a valid choice for Snow Month. And certainly a valid choice for the holiday season. So thank you for being on the pod. It was a delight.
Yo, thanks for having me with my no criteria whatsoever.
Barely anyone on this podcast, including Emily and myself, have the criteria to be here. So... But for everyone listening at home, thank you for joining us. If you celebrate holidays around this time, happy holidays. But also, I'm trying to like naturally segue into the fact that we have merch, and even though you probably can't get it in by Christmas at this point, you probably should still buy it because we have it. So we have merch. The link will be in our bio. We have stickers, crew necks, sweatshirts, tote bags, of myriad of... If you, like, forgot to get somebody a gift and then they give you something and you're like, oh my god, this is so awkward because, like, I didn't get you anything. But then you're like, oh no, it's just in the mail, ha ha ha, even though you haven't gotten it yet. Then get them something from the swamp if they are familiar. Or if they're not, that would still be kind of funny. So... yeah, that was my awkward pitch for you to go check out our merch, link in the bio. Also, all of our social medias are down there. Give us a follow. We'll also try to post chocolate or vanilla. I'm like 50-50 about whether I'll remember or not, but let us know your opinions on Christmas. Also, be sure to DM us any sort of themes you'd want us to do in the future for like movies or like, specific movies you want us to cover, themes, chocolate or vanilla ideas, literally any input that you guys have. We love to hear from you. Thank you. Do we have any?
No, that's it. That's all we got. Thanks for listening.